Ever wonder what married men think? Well, I do. My name is Jory O'Neill, and I am on a quest to learn what makes men say, I still do, even when they feel like they don't. Join me as we embark on a journey of discovery and exploration into the mind of a godly man. Hear real stories of love, marriage, parenting, and everything in between. Each week, learn practical ways to keep your vows renewed well after the honeymoon. I still do. Do you?
Welcome back to the Godly Man's Perspective on Marriage podcast. It's been a while. We're on season 2. It's a continuation, and I'm super excited. In case you have no idea who I am, let me introduce myself for those of you who are joining us for the first time here on the Facebook. My name is Jory O'Neill, and I am the co-host of the Godly Man's Perspective on Marriage podcast. And with me today, it's been a while, brother, but here we are again. I have with me Terrence Wilson. What up, brother?
What up? What up? What up? How's it going, everybody? What's up, sis? It's been a minute, man. It's been a
It has
minute.
definitely been a minute. I don't know if a minute is accurate. So it is good to be back, man. It is good to be back together. I've missed this conversations. I've missed them. And I know our audience has too, right? It's been quiet for a bit, but not without purpose, right?
Right, right,
Um,
absolutely.
so I want to share with those who are joining us for the first time, and we're live on YouTube right now. We're going to be streaming there and just sharing real live, in person, raw conversations. That was the vibe of the podcast when we initially started, and people have received that very well. Although we have not put out a new podcast episode since 2023, our podcast is still
Wow.
going. It's still growing. And there have been thousands of listeners over the last month. So I know these conversations are helpful and I know these topics are relevant. And so before we get into too much, how are you, sir?
Well, fantastic. I'm blessed. Life comes at you. Either you break or you rise to the occasion. And at this point, I believe that me and Chelsea, we're rising to the occasion. So there's good things coming in the next couple of months from us. There's some things coming that's going to be real good at the end of the year and the first quarter of next year. So just be on the lookout for it. It's really I'm excited. I'm back into powerlifting and everything. So got my own powerlifting team. SOB. Uh, some people say it stands for son of a whatever. Some people say it stands for short of breath, but it's basically standing on business. So
Love that.
when we get in the platform, we stand on business. I'm using that platform to help vets with mental disorders and stuff like that to where they can get back focused. As an example, that commercial. I'm not it's back old commercial when they was talking about like I'm not just a spokesperson, I'm also a client,
Oh, well, the,
type
the
thing.
hair guy for the
Yeah,
Rogaine.
yeah, yeah. Rogaine,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm speaking from experience in dealing with the mental health, as far as getting back into the gym and to being able to focus on a lot of other things. So like I said, I'm blessed and I'm looking forward to the rest of this year and definitely the first quarter next year.
I love that. And so, in case you haven't been with us on season 1, we had a lot of powerful conversations. We had a lot of guests come through here. We heard from some incredible men, not only my brother Terrence, but also Donald, who's not with us right now. We might try to pull him on. But we've heard topics: sacrifice, temptation, commitment, submission, finances, and even sex. So we've done a lot of topics, and so for this next, I guess, rendition of where the podcast is going, I would love to just focus on where mental health fits in on a godly marriage. And so for the next couple of conversations, if you rock with us, you'll be hearing some insights, some feedback, some testimony, and some just raw reveals of what it's like to not just be the one who's dealing with emotional health issues, but also as a husband dealing with a wife who has emotional health issues. So we have a couple of guests coming on. So I'm so excited to just jump into these conversations. We couldn't leave it there. We've been working behind the scenes to kind of encapsulate a lot of those conversations that we've had, and I'm super excited to announce live here on the Facebook, the I Still Do: A Godly Man's Guide to Lasting Love. So the ebook is almost ready for consumption and sales. So if you've loved the podcast, if you're like, I have no idea what the conversations were about, listen, go ahead, tap in, go to our YouTube channel, IYH Network. That's where you'll find all the previous recordings. You can hear us on Apple, Spotify, all the great places, Amazon. But this ebook should be dropping soon, and I'm super excited. It's been a labor of love to learn how to take all these really amazing conversations and stories and testimonies and turn them into multiple ways to be digested, right? Not just the podcast, but also now an ebook. So in the ebook, it's a collection of those powerful interviews, plus personal stories and reflections designed to help couples build, heal, and grow. And so we're dropping that very soon. Stay tuned. This is a surprise for Terry. He didn't know. This was my little surprise to him. He had no idea what was happening. So wanted to come on here and share with you all. And so all this leads us into what we're going to be talking about again. Season 2 is all about mental health. So we're digging in what it means to care for your mind and your marriage simultaneously. So, Terry, what are your thoughts? This is the first time you're hearing about the ebook that I've been secretly putting together.
I mean, I look at it from just knowing you and how God has been using you over the past couple of years, and especially on your journey now to entrepreneurship, taking that step on faith and everything. Just knowing what your hands touch, it's a blessing. So hearing about the ebook is just a blessing. It's another way of getting us, us men, our voice out there in dealing with marriages. And not all of us is perfect. Some of us had to go through trials and tribulations to get to where we at now. You know, um, what they say is no really such thing as bad people. We just make bad decisions type thing. But I believe it's also bad people. So be careful on what you do after that. But I'm excited. The book is exciting, and like I just can't wait to get going with the topics because that mental health thing is real important. And this you got to be able to give up your mental to your spouse in order for that person to help you mentally. So let's rock and roll.
Yeah, man. And so I think given some context to like how this even happened, like why is this black woman hosting his podcast called The Godly Man's Perspective on Marriage? And so for those of you again who this is the first time y'all stumble upon this, I was a wife who was very confused and had no idea what my role was in, building up my husband and loving him, and how do I, complement what he got going on, and how do I become a helpmeet that best suits him. And you probably won't see my husband. He's been on one episode, and that was a lot. That was a lot. He's not the rah-rah talking guy. He's the behind the scenes, quietly serving, loving, building, growing. And so I was like, well, if you're not gonna talk to me and tell me what I need to know, then I'm gonna talk to some other godly men and I'm gonna figure it out. And so part of the introduction is that explanation that I am on a quest to find out why men say I still do, even when they don't. And I think mental health has definitely been a big part of, I want to say, a portion of what I've been learning over the last 3 years. So this podcast turns 3 years old. This podcast is now a toddler. And I'm learning that because of the impact and the feedback and the emails that we've been getting, like this isn't just a podcast. This has turned into a full out platform. And there are people literally across the world who aren't having these conversations. People in countries where it's taboo to speak about some of the topics that we covered in the first season, no one is there to address these things, right? Men are getting married and confused about what their role is and how do they position themselves so that they can honor God and still lead this woman and raise this family properly. And so we've created a safe space. We've created a safe space where we have those conversations, we have those tough talks, and we get real with one another. And I'm blessed to be a part of that, to be a catalyst. I'm really just like, I'm setting the table and then I let men like do the talking. And that's been fun. That's been fun for me. So again, whether you're tuning in from your car, your couch, or your quiet time, thank you for making space for these conversations to be had. Um, as always, we want to make sure, I'm gonna say it in the middle, I'm gonna say it again at the end. Subscribe, please subscribe, share it, and stay with us. This podcast episode is going to drop on all platforms, and this is episode 2 of season 2. We started season 2 back in 2023, if I'm being honest, and there was a lot happening. There was a lot happening on Terry's end, on Donald's end, right, our other co-host, and myself. And so we just took a pause. And I think sometimes people get scared to take a pause, right? They feel like if I don't work at it, if I don't put my hand to it, if I don't keep doing it and moving it, it's not going to grow. It's going to fall apart. And God showed up. God showed up because, again, we hadn't launched the episode since 2023, September 2023. And still, this podcast is trending. This podcast, like I said, over the last month, we've had literally thousands of streams. So I'm convinced that people are hungry for these conversations. And so who are we to deny them? Who are we to deny them? And so what I want to do right now, I'm gonna give you a little context for what you can expect in this next couple of episodes. So if you are in a marriage, if you're planning for one, or you just want to be a better man, stay with us, right? Season 2 is here. The ebook is on its way, and we're building something deeper than ever before. Deeper than ever before. And so I have one question, because I'm always questions and practicals. I love those two, questions and practicals. And so, Terrence, since you are the only godly man on this call, tell me two things.
Okay.
Two things that anyone who is listening, regardless of where they are in their marriage journey, even if they're just contemplating marriage, share with me two things that, in hindsight, the last time we recorded the podcast, 2023 to now, what has the last 2 years taught you? If you can boil it down into two things that would bless anyone on the other side of this mic, what would they be?
Man, that's a good one. Um, I'll say patience. And one, it's patience with yourself, patience with your spouse, and patience with God, because He already know what He's gonna give you. So you got to be patient and go through it, because they say once you ask for certain things, uh, He's gonna give it to you, but you got to work to get it. You know, it's there for you. You just got to work and keep working. And I'll say over the past couple of years, since our last episode, being patient with myself, being patient with my spouse, knowing that, you know, as we go into the marriage, each year we peel a layer off. So I'm gonna say an onion, but it doesn't, because a lot of people like onions, a lot of people don't like onions. A lot of people like marriages, a lot of people don't like marriages. So that's why I use an onion, because as you peel off the layer, sometimes when you cut too deep, you start to cry.
Woo! Say that again.
And
Say that
and
again. Give me. Run that back. Run that back, sir.
when you cut too deep, you start to cry. So what I've learned to over these years is it's okay to cry. Especially as a man. Like, we got this tough thing where this exterior that we can't cry. Like, I done cried a couple of times in other relationships, but I haven't felt comfortable in crying in those relationships like I am now. just being able to let it out emotionally. And fellas, I'll tell you, it's definitely important to let out emotion. So those are the two things I would tell you. Being patient with yourself, your spouse, and God, and to be emotional. Allow yourself to be emotional with your spouse.
I love that. See my man say, "Cut too deep, you start to cry." I said, "Ooh, that's a message right there." That might be the first episode. You never know, people. You never know. Listen, once again, so blessed, so excited to have you guys with us. So excited to be back, to have these real, live, raw, vulnerable conversations with my brother. In case you don't know, we're
Yes,
actually
sir.
brother and sister. Like we
Right.
physical. So the same brother. I'm not like speaking
Yeah.
metaphorically or some sort of term of endearment. He's my physical brother, same mama, and we are super excited to be able to lead and guide you through these conversations. The hopefully, right, the goal is to help you grow deeper in your walk with God. And so this is an interfaith podcast. We come from different backgrounds, different understandings, but at the end of the day, God must be first. And so, super excited to continue this journey with you, brother. Again, please,
Yes,
people,
yes.
subscribe, share, and send this to another godly man who needs to hear it. Because people, listen, we're just getting started. I'm Jory
Right.
O'Neill, Terrence Wilson, and this is the Godly Man's Perspective on Marriage podcast. Till next time, people.